Mr. Signaigo, is it true that you play an instrument?
I play several instruments, actually.
What type of instruments do you play?
In my classroom, it's usually the guitar. I've also got a keyboard in here, but my favorite one, the one that I'm best at, is playing the Irish fiddle.
What made you play music?
I did not start learning how to play music until college. And it was one of those things that once I started listening to more music and just kind of getting into it, I wanted to learn how to do it. And so I started with guitar, and then learned bass and drums and keyboard, and then got into Irish music and learned the violin, and it went from there.
Do you play music in any places?
I do. In the normal times, when there's not a pandemic happening, I play in Pasadena on Wednesdays. I've done weddings. I've done multicultural street fairs and stuff like that. For the most part, though, it's just a hobby. It's not a thing that I'm turning into a full side hustle.
What got you to play music?
It really just came down to once I got to the point where I was starting to really appreciate music in a new way, I wanted to learn how to do it myself. I wanted to be able to make my own music. And for Irish music in particular, I had learned I'd learned Irish dance first, and then I started teaching Irish dance. And so we were going to places with Irish music so that we could do our Irish dancing. And after listening to a lot of the fiddle in particular, I really loved the way it sounded, and I wanted to learn how to do it.
Have you ever played in a band?
I've never played in a band. I've played with bands, but I've never been in a band because too much of my time goes to this and all the other stuff that I do. So that's why it's been more of a hobby.
Have you ever played with groups?
Oh, I've definitely played with groups. In fact, when I play in Pasadena, the group that we play with, sometimes it's as small as 5 or 6 people, sometimes it's as big as 20 musicians at one time, just sitting together playing music, entertaining the folks.
What do you prefer, history or music?
Ooh, it depends what you mean by prefer. I'm definitely probably happier when I'm with my friends playing music for other people. That's a purely positive experience. History to me is interesting and it's fascinating, but it's full of good and bad. It's made up of us, and we're all a little bit good and a little bit bad. So I find history to be interesting, engaging, important, where music for me is more purely enjoyable.
It's playing for us with your guitar?
I can do guitar.
Okay.
Let's see what we could play right now.
Thank you for playing with us.
You're very welcome.
Okay, that's it for all. Thank you, Assistant Signaigo.
Anytime. It was my pleasure.